Hey guys, I'm getting a little wet here. It's kind of raining a little bit on me. I thought it would be, I thought all the rain was gone in the turn of the season, but looks like it's still changing a little bit. Anyways, so failing as a sub. This is an interesting question which comes up a lot where people, they say, okay, I'm doing this and that, and I feel like I'm failing my D as a submissive because they're not coping or dealing with things like they believe that they should, or they can't take as much of whatever they think they need to take that they should. Those are outside impressions, guys. If your D hasn't talked to you about anything that needs correcting, don't assume that you're automatically failing because of what's going on, in here. We are our own worst critics. It's not to say that, you can't improve or you don't want to strive to be a better you. It just means that perhaps you're in a dialogue, is stuck on a go-to loop, and you're having problems sort of seeing outside of that. You haven't reached or gotten to the conditions and decisions where it goes, hey, look, no, stop that. And that can happen a lot, where you think that you're not good enough. And you are. I mean, seriously, you can only be the perfect you. You can only be you, the one unique you that is in the whole world. Now, I asked the question, how do you think that you're failing? I mean, how can you fail as a submissive? You can fail as a submissive to other people's ideas of being a submissive, or even a dom. But to keep in mind, these things will change and evolve over time. And unless you sit down and talk with your partners or partners, partner or partners about, where you guys are going, what you're doing, how you're feeling, you won't reach that level of communication where you understand that you're not failing. And it could just be a case of you're growing in different directions, that perhaps things have been misinterpreted. They might not even be aware that you have these feelings, and then they can talk to you and say, hey, look, no, that's not right. No, you're not failing me. Not in this way. And more to the point, I only look at it as a fail is if you fail to bring as if you don't bring it up and talk to them about it. Honestly talk to them about it. No hinting, no, oh, what do you think about this and what do you think about that, or what do you think, I hate that wishy-washy thing. Sometimes my brain goes into that automatic questioning line, fishing for an answer, fishing to reconfirm, fishing to see what's right, and basing it off their reactions, my own sort of thought patterns, rather than saying things like, I feel a little bit like, XYZ when this happens, or did you mean XYZ, because that's how I interpreted it. And it could be, well, no, I didn't, I meant blah. And then you go back and forth. So then you do things like understand where they're coming from, how they're using their language, and they understand how you're interpreting their language, and what language is possibly better to communicate with you in those instances. And it could be not just a verbal language, it could be tone, all the non-verbal things, posture, just body language. So it's out there for a lot of people, and DOMs get this as well. A lot of people think that they're failing at things, and if you think you're failing at it, why do you think you're failing at it? Has somebody said something to you about it? Do those people actually matter in the long scheme of things? Say an external person is saying, oh, you'd fail as my sub. I'm like, well, that's none of your business, because I am not your sub or your dom or whatever it is that you think I am. We don't have that agreement. So what is it that you think you twist your mind up about, failing, not doing, not achieving? Is it somebody else's point of view, really, someone that's not in your own relationship, someone that really has nothing to do with you, that in the long run won't be there. And what do you think it means to you? Like, you know, how are you going to change that perception? Like, there are plenty of things that I've thought that, you know, geez, I'm failing at this. I feel like such a coward when I do this, and you know, this is my way of coping with that. And you know, I've had my days that, like, you know what, that's understandable. And don't ever think that, you know, I think any less of you for that. And I know what you're going through, and that is an awesome way to be. Because even though you think that possibly you're failing, at least you've brought it up and let them know that, you know, hey, something is wrong, or something that you're not comfortable with. And then they can use that information and either help you deal with it, they can deal with it, or make you realise that it's not really an issue for you or for them, and stuff the feelings about anyone else, because, you know, it's not important what they think, because ultimately you are the person that you're going to be living with 24/7. Your partners are going to be the people that are going to be living with you. And if you're stuck in this go-to loop and you're constantly reinforcing that negative programming, I'm not saying that you can't be negative occasionally, because sometimes you do need that, just to let it be and recognise that, you know, it is a thing, and you wonder where it comes from, and you don't have to resist it. Just know that it's there and accept that it's there. And then you just find ways of, you know, changing that go-to loop into something a little bit better, or a little bit less stressful for you. So have a think. Some things that you think that you failed at, why do you think you failed at it? Did you really fail at it? Did you not learn something from it? I don't call that failing if you've learned something. And those people that criticise you about that, have a real good think about, do their opinions really matter? Does it really affect your life? And should it really affect your life? Like, whose opinions matter the most, and have you talked with them about it? You know, to you personally, in the long run, and go from there. Okay, this is a bit deep. What is it on a Wednesday? Hump day. Too much thinking, I think. Anyway, lovely bougainvilleas are out and flowering. It's bloody awesome. Anyway, there's also an election on this weekend. That'll be interesting. A lot of knives out and weird advertising and stuff like that, which don't make any sense to me. It's like, what? I'm a cat. That doesn't make sense. What are you humans talking about? Anyway, see you guys later. Take care. Love yous.